Hello everybody, welcome to another Versus Video Deck Tech. I'm Chris VanMeter, joined by
Braun-Duin.
Braun-Duin. Another BBD versus CVM here. I'm going to be playing Jund Monsters. So I've been a big proponent of the Green Red Monsters deck in the past. I played it this last weekend in St. Louis to a top 4 finish. This is actually the list that I beat in the top 8. Very luckily, might I add, because this is not a very good matchup for traditional Green Red Monsters. And the reason comes from the Black Splash. So we still have our acceleration with Caryatid and Elvish Mystic, and then we have just the standard Monsters Fair, Domri Raid, Polykranos, Stormbreath Dragon, and the newly adapted Courser of Crufix, which adds a lot to the deck. But the black gives us access to Reaper of the Wilds, which is a very important 4-drop in the deck to combat other monster decks. It allows you to attack through Polykranos. In addition to that, you can use Domri with it to fight, basically anything, give it Death Touch, and that's going to die. But it has 5 toughness, so it doesn't die to Mizium Mortars. So the only way that a traditional Green Red Monsters deck can actually kill a Reaper of the Wilds is using Domri to fight it with the Polykranos, or using a Flesh Blood on a Polykranos to try and kill the Reaper of the Wilds, or something post-combat with a Gorklan Rampager. But even then, if you have mana available, you can give it Hexproof. So Reaper of the Wilds is a great addition to this deck and makes it very resilient. Now I know that you played Reaper quite a bit after Theros came out when you were at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, I actually played Reaper in the Pro Tour to a 7-3 finish, and
card's very good.
Jacob Van Lunen lost playing for top 8 with Reaper of the Wilds as well. So I'm definitely no stranger to Reaper. I know how good the card is. It's very good.
Absolutely. And all of its abilities are relevant. The Scry when creatures die are very good. Between Mortars, Domri, and now our Dreadbore, we're going to be killing lots of creatures, being able to Scry, set up our draws. Scrying is also very good with Domri Raid and Courser of Crufix to be able to tailor our turn. Plus, a big problem for Green Red Monsters is Desecration Demon, like we talked about in the deck tech for the mono black aggro deck. Reaper of the Wilds can actually attack through a Desecration Demon. If they want to trade their 6/6 giant flyer for this 4/5, that's fine. We can trade and I'll get to scry one. If not, they're going to be taking damage. And then we also get Dreadbore in the main and some more removal spells in the sideboard with the Black Splash to be able to combat Demon. Everything else in the deck is just like a normal Monsters deck. We get the black dual lands. We get another Scry land. I've always wanted to fit Scry land in the deck, so now we got one. And we're still playing some Mutavaults. But I think this deck is very, very well positioned. And to be honest, had I not got very lucky against Kent, I feel like he would have just won the tournament with there being 4 other monster decks in the top 8. He would have just ran all over him.
I think this deck is exceptionally good. I actually do. I think this deck is very, very good.
Yep.
And yeah, I think Monsters is so big. Why not play a deck why not play the same deck but that beats the mirror?
Exactly.
And I feel like you're not even losing in other matchups either. You get tools that are great in other matchups too.
Yeah, like this is the only thing that this is losing is Gorklan Rampager for Reaper of the Wilds, and I really only like Rampager against decks where Flesh Blood is good.
Yeah.
So in the mirror, obviously, but this is better. And then against Mono Blue Devotion, it's another matchup where Flesh Blood is good. So you want your Rampagers there. But black gives us access to cards like Abrupt Decay, which is also very good against Mono Blue Devotion, so we're really not even losing all that much.
Yeah, and you also have access to cards like Doomblade. I don't know if he has Doomblade, but you have access to cards like that to kill Master of Waves, which are traditionally a huge problem for this kind of a deck. So.
Yep. Well, we're actually playing Ultimate Price over Doomblade since it also kills Demon, Polykranos, and Master of Waves. So
yep.
We've got the trifecta of troublesome creatures. Ultimate Price handles them all.
Yeah. I mean, I just love seeing a Master of Waves just pay the ultimate price.
Absolutely.
It's just like he's just surfing along in his little wave, and all of a sudden he just looks in his pocket. He's only got $6.50. Fee is $7. Pays the ultimate price.
Pays the price. So this is the main deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sideboard and see what other options that the Black Splash gives us. Hello everybody, we're back looking at the sideboard for the Jund Monsters deck, and being as we are 3 colors, we might as well just play a bunch of gold cards since that's what the sideboard is. We get 2 more copies of Dreadbore. The Xenagos God of Revels is in the sideboard. The normal Monsters deck plays it in the main deck, and I'm not sure if I like it in the main or the sideboard. I played 2 in my deck this last weekend and found that I was siding one out on the draw quite a bit because it's just a little slow. But it's still very powerful, and it's nearly impossible for the Black Devotion or the Black-White Devotion deck or the Black-White mid-range deck to beat it. And in fact, most of the time my Black-White opponents were keeping in or siding in additional copies of Revoke Existence just to beat Xenagos God of Revels. So it's very good against those types of decks. Sigh of Insanity is an interesting card that hasn't seen much play.
I saw a lot of play a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. We tried very hard to make it good in like 4-color reanimator decks. The Jund decks of the old we're playing it as a way to combat against the control decks. And here we get to accelerate into it with our Mystics and Caryatids. And I mean, blue-white just really can't beat this card if we get it out early enough.
Yeah, it's super insane against blue-white control.
Absolutely. So like, I like playing like 2 Ruok-Thars, but now you can just play Ruok-Thar and a Siren Insanity. In fact, it probably should just be 2 Siren Insanities. It just seems really good. Ruok-Thar, again, primarily for the blue-white control deck. A lot of times you think that you might want to bring it in against mono-black, but I just don't even like it against the black decks. It's just going to die.
They attack your mana so hard.
Yeah.
They really tax you on that front that you get stuck in situations where a Ruok-Thar is stuck in your hand, you can't cast it.
Yep.
Or it gets Lifebane zombied, and by the time you finally cast it, they take 6 damage from killing it, and then you die. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
Now we do have a couple charms here with Golgari Charm and Gruul Charm. Golgari Charm is another answer to Master of Waves. Kills the Tension Sphere. Can kill some troublesome artifacts.
But it also Supreme Verdict too.
But it also gives us protection against Supreme Verdict, which is very good. Gruul Charm, I'm not a big fan of. I know a lot of people played it in like the standard green-red deck. It's pretty sweet as a falter. Sometimes you get to like take back your cards that they cast off of their Nightveil Spectre, or you can even, what does it do, 3 damage to a flyer or something?
Yeah, you can like take back the cards they take with your Nightveil Spectre, but you can't take back Sunday, so it's just off the list for me.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I actually do like Abrupt Decay. I think Abrupt Decay is very good against the Blue Devotion deck. I think it's good against anything that happens to be playing Soldier of the Pantheon. I know there were a couple Maniacs in the top 16 in St. Louis who were playing like the Esper mid-range Humans deck, so Abrupt Decay is good against decks like that.
Yeah, I would have to say that Abrupt Decay certainly falls within the Nut High camp of Standard right now.
The Nut High camp of Standard.
Yeah.
And it's actually going up in price. So I've been telling people to spec on it for a while, and it just had its first jump. First of many, in my opinion. So if you're looking for something to buy up them Abrupt Decays.
Yeah, so it's kind of surprising that it's not worth a lot of money considering it's played in every format they've ever printed.
It is actually. It's even played in Vintage.
Yeah, even Theros Limited. I've played some Abrupt Decays. So.
Judge.
Yeah.
We do have 2 Rakdos Return, which is a very good card. We're ramping. All of our spells are so powerful, we're forcing our opponents to react to them very quickly. And at some point, we can just slip in a Sucker Punch and get rid of their entire hand.
Yep. The best part is when, like, Jace shows up on the scene. He's like, what up? I'm Jace. I'm going to +1. Your creatures suck. And then, he forgot the key ingredient. And it's like, look, dude, Rakdos is back. All right, he came back. He's not gone
back.
anymore.
He is back.
Kill your Jace. Discard your entire hand.
That's always the best feeling.
You
can even kill an Elspeth with it too, which is pretty sweet.
And I actually like to just sign the match slip right then and there.
You just ask your opponent to sign your Rakdos Return.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 Ultimate Price, just another removal spell. Kills Dragon, kills Polykranos, kills Master of Waves, kills Desecration Demon. Does not kill Rakdos Cackler, unfortunately, but it does kill plenty of other monocolor creatures.
Cannot kill the Cax. It's unfortunate. Big Cax.
Big Cax. So this is the sideboard for the Jund Monsters deck. We're going to go ahead and jump in and do some battling and see if Herald of Torment dies to Gruul Charm today. It does 3 damage to all flyers.
He will die to it if you side it in.
It's a possibility.
All right.
Let's go ahead and jump in and battle.